Hey, groovy cats and chicks, I'm back already. I didn't really expect to be back this soon, but um, you probably heard there's a lot of weird crap going about. And normally I don't like to talk about current events on the news, stuff like that. Here, let me get comfortable here. Yeah. Normally I don't like to talk about current event on the news, but believe it or not, this is movie related. And this is going to be exclusively on Rumble because we're going to tread on controversial waters. So if you're real sensitive or you're a snowflake, well, if you're a snowflake, I don't know what you're doing here in the first place. But if you're hypersensitive, you may want to leave right now because we're going to talk about mad scientists and sex changes. And yes, they are related, not only in the current events that are going on today, but in the world of movies. I'm going to talk about two underground movies. Well, one's an underground movie, and the other one is a drive-in movie. I'm going to talk about them today. But before we do that, it's time for once again some shameless self-promotion. Again, we have to fight the evil forces of wokeness and woke-tards and political correctness, and the best way to do it is to support the parallel economy. So you need to go to www.savagefilmgroup.com. I'm going to leave a link below and buy some of my movies. Remember, you buy one DVD, you get a CD free. You don't use the third party. I'm not taking credit cards anymore, but I'll take money orders and checks. And for your inconvenience, because you've been inconvenienced and don't get the instant gratification of doing that click and you have to actually go mail something, I will get you a free CD with every DVD you buy. So look at their CDs, you'll love it. We got Savage Radio Theater, which is the audio adventures of Harry Gross. We have the radio spots from the 60s and 70s. And they were the radio come-ons for movies that were really spectacular and had dynamic greatness. We also have a soundtrack of our music soundtrack, which were done by the late, great Marvin Kennedy, who was an excellent musician. I really was proud to have him on my team, and he was also a terrific post-production guy. So, yes, that way you can support the parallel economy and fight the evil forces of wokeness. And also visit www.savagefilmgroup.com. And hopefully you are watching exclusively on Rumble because I don't trust YouTube with such sensitive matters. Okay, you've already probably heard, and I'm not trying to make light of this, but this is something many of us knew eventually would happen. There was a transsexual psychopath a monster, really a human monster that attacked a Christian school and murdered 3 children and 3 teachers, from my understanding, and was shot down by the police. Very good. He needed to be eliminated. We didn't need a trial. It would have turned into a circus. So, you know, of course, the mother, who was a bad parent, expects sympathy. Get none from me. So you're a lousy parent. You suck at your job. The hell with you. Now, this is proving that the big lie, that if people were allowed to change their gender, change their sex, they would be happy. This was not a happy person. Happy people don't do this. This is crap. I'll tell you why they're not happy. And you need to listen to the great Rock Savage. And I bet you're saying, Rock Savage? Doesn't this have something to do with movies? Yes, I'm glad you asked, and it does. But first, I must point out to you that when I went to college, I got an A in human sexuality. That's right, A. So I know a lot of shit. And I know, unfortunately, what genitalia looks like that's been manufactured by these mad scientists who perform sex change operations. It looks hideous. They are not transitioning. They are not a real woman. They are artificial Frankenstein creations. The fake vaginas look like they're made out of plastic. And by the way, hardly any of the transsexuals ever experience orgasm again. How can they be? Of course they're not happy. And The penises, the fake penises they put on women look like Franken-penis. This is sick. This is not normal. And yet you have so-called doctors who are willing to perform this surgery. This is sick. Really sick. I mean, this is mad science. And I can't believe this is even allowed. These crazed, mad doctors to perform these experiments on human beings, and now they want to perform them on children. This should not be allowed, of course. It is an abomination in the eyes of the gods and goddesses. It should not be allowed. And if you want any further proof, may I recommend an excellent horror movie. Well, it's not a horror. Well, it is a horror movie, but it's actually a documentary hosted by a real mad scientist. The guy who hosts this movie actually performs sex change operations. In my opinion, this man is evil. And when you see him, you'll say, who is this creepy motherfucker? Well, the name of this movie is Let Me Die a Woman. It is a terrifying movie. They show you the operation, they show you before and after doesn't look so good. Oh, no. First of all, real women have hips and curves. They're not turning them into women. They're turning them into some sort of Frankenstein freak. And yet people out there are saying, it's okay, they're happy. No, they're not. No, they're not. And the proof is the transsexual psychopath that went crazy in Nashville. There's your proof. We need to start rounding these people up because they're now becoming a terrorist group. We need to round them up and not put them in jail, but put them in an insane asylum and give them the psychiatric care they need, because that's what they need. They didn't need a sex change. These people needed a head shrinker. And that's not an opinion. That's a fact. Because we're finding out all the high rate of suicide among transsexuals. We're finding, and of course this recent shooting, and more frightening enough, they wrote a manifesto that is being hidden from the public, but it's too late. We already know what it is. If you're hiding it, it means that the manifesto is targeting religious people and people who don't agree with their sick, twisted, evil agenda. So, like I said, if you want to scare yourself, Let Me Die a Woman. A documentary with real, you get to see the surgeries take place, you get to see the results, and you can decide whether this is normal or not. I recommend it. It's from a company. I hope they still have it. This is the VHS. I transferred my copy to DVD-R because, I can do that. I got my own studio. I kept, to preserve it. I still have video recorders. I'm very retro. I have lots of retro technology. So, yeah, this is a twisted movie. But if you're curious, if you have morbid curiosity and you like to look at, you're the kind of guy when an accident happens on a highway, you can't take your eyes off of it, then this is the movie for you. Makes a great Halloween movie to scare your friends. Seriously. I ain't kidding about that. Also, however, if you're more the action-adventure type of guy, and a lot of us are, may I recommend A Scream in the Streets. It's an action cop movie. And let me read the back. This is so cool. This is sex. Oh, I'm not saying it right. Excuse me. Sex, violence, and a transvestite psycho. Just another day on the streets of L.A. And this was in the 70s. I can't imagine what a day in the streets of L.A. is like now. Huh? Anyway, A Scream in the Streets. I'll give you a quick summary. It's a great movie. Also put out by Something Weird Video. You can still get this, I know. Go to their website at Something Weird Video and check it out and support them, because you're supporting drive-in movies. And drive-in movies were the best, man. They had the best stuff. But anyway, just like it says, a transvestite psycho is targeting women, and since it dresses like a woman, it fools them, and befriends them and then murders them. And of course, you have two tough cops going after them. Now, one cop is a Boy Scout. He goes by the book. The other cop is a Dirty Harry type. Of course, the Dirty Harry type is the one who saves the day. You don't even need. That's not even a spoiler. That's pretty much a given, isn't it? So, anyway, yes, A Scream in the Streets. I highly recommend this from Something Weird Video. Support them. They put out a lot of great movies that are terrific, and you should support the parallel economy. And when you support them, you don't support Hollywood. And when you go to buy one of my movies, you don't support Hollywood. You support independent and underground filmmakers, and that's good. We have to give Hollywood the middle finger. Hollywood has put transsexual and transvestite psychos on a pedestal, and now this is the result, and we can't allow that. So you want to do your bit to fight this thing? Buy this movie? Well, buy this movie if you've got a strong stomach, and support the parallel economy, and fight for the freedom of filmmakers everywhere to be able to make the kind of movies they want. And just that's all really I have to say. Once again, don't forget, hit the like and subscribe button below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel on Rumble, you should support Rumble, because they support free speech, and that's an important thing these days. So yes, so you support the channel, and go out and buy some underground and independent movies. And don't forget, www.savagefilmgroup.com. Hit subscribe and like, and I'll see you again soon. And stay groovy. And I'm out of here. Well, if I can find the off switch, I'll be out of here. Okay, where we are. Okay, obviously was sabotaged by a transgender, right? It's a conspiracy. Oh my God, it's a conspiracy. There we go.